Struggling with vocal practice, feeling a little bit overwhelmed? You are not alone. It's Mimi, vocal coach here, and I totally understand. Today I'm revealing 7 simple yet powerful tips on how to turn your vocal practice from to amazing. Get ready to finally unlock your voice and see those breakthroughs you've been working towards. For beginners and intermediates, 15 minutes a day of mindful, focused, and curious practice is more than enough. You don't have to practice hours a day and feel bad if you don't have time. Depending on where you're at, you could either do a 15-minute vocal practice routine, or you could break your 15 minutes into 3 to 5 minute blocks of vocal practice that you sprinkle throughout your day, revisiting something new that you have learned or practicing a very specific technique like diaphragm breathing or vocal twang. So, why is it important to practice short practice sessions often rather than long practice sessions seldom? The reason why we are doing vocal practice in the first place is to reinforce good vocal habits and, if needed, learn some new ones into your muscle memory. To make this happen, we need 2 things. We need awareness and we need a repetition. It is important to be able to focus and be aware of the sensations in the body, especially when learning something new. And the key to this is practicing short practice sessions. We as humans have very limited capacity to focus and be truly present, and therefore, when doing long practice sessions all by yourself, the mind starts to wander. Also, our brain really wants to do things in the old ways, even when it doesn't serve us. Therefore, we need a lot of repetition to make our sometimes very stubborn brain to understand these new techniques. For example, if you've always sang with some tension and constriction in your voice, this is going to be your autopilot mode when you start to sing. So, you need to learn how to sing free from tension and perhaps focus on different areas in your voice where the tension may be, and practice short practice sessions this way to ensure that the tension won't creep back in. By the way, the same way we can learn self-compassion and change the way that we relate to our voice. Practicing inconsistently long practice sessions soon starts to feel like there's no point of doing vocal practice because you're not really getting anywhere. You may even realize that your voice gets tired after vocal practice, which is the opposite of what we want. It can also feel quite overwhelming to think that we would have to practice hours daily in order to improve, and luckily this isn't true. One of the biggest causes of overwhelm is not quite knowing what and how to practice. If you feel unsure about this, it is so easy to move your practice session to another day. It actually takes great amount of energy to be unsure. Energy that could go into your vocal practice and exploring your own unique voice. There's 3 options that you can do about this. Observe what in your voice you would like to improve, or what gets in the way of your voice coming out as you would like it to. Then find videos on YouTube to learn what exercises could help and try them out until something works. This option is free and accessible to everyone, which is great, but it does require more of that trial and error learning and that internal motivation to keep going without that personalized feedback and support and structure. This works well for independent learners who love to figure out things on their own. phone, or as a first step when you just want to get started and see how it feels. This is how I started learning to play flute and to sing. Coming from a single mom household, we couldn't afford any private lessons, so I learned to play flute and sing very independently by using books from the library, and I actually have to save money to go for my first private lessons as an adult, and I felt amazing when I finally did. So there really is no right or wrong way to learn new skills. Second option is book yourself into an online course. So all kinds of online courses are also a great way to start learning, and you can find them on very different price points. Third way is the private lessons. Take vocal lessons where you can learn one-to-one with a vocal coach to get that immediate feedback, support, and structure, and the right things to practice at the right time of your learning process. This works well for those who are ready to invest a little bit more on their interests, for either just to have that moment in your week to unwind and focus on yourself and your voice doing something that you love. You don't necessarily have to have time and energy to practice in between lessons, because showing up weekly will give you a little bit of consistency in your vocal practice. You like the conversational aspect in one-to-one lessons and value having your vocal coach there when you practice and sing. Or if you are a little bit more goal-oriented singer and really want to improve your voice very efficiently and learn how to get the most out of it and have someone to give you feedback, support, and guidance on what to focus on in your technique, as well as challenge you to take on songs that would take your singing to the next level. You crave exercises to do in between lessons and appreciate the support and immediate feedback from your vocal coach. For beginners, private vocal lessons work best when done weekly over a longer period of time to build that foundation for your voice and for you to really get to those exciting moments when things are moving forward with your voice. I wouldn't recommend investing in private vocal lessons for beginner singers if you are not ready to do lessons consistently over a longer period of time. Vocal coaching sessions every now and then work best for more advanced singers who clearly understand their voice a little bit more and know what they are working on and are used to independent vocal practice. Journaling your vocal practice is an especially beneficial tool for shy and nervous singers because it will clarify your practice, organize your thoughts, and you can look back and realize that you have improved and you have been able to overcome challenges and difficult singing days. The hardest part of singing is in the mind, and writing things down will really help you to get out of your own head. Let me know in the comments if you would like to learn more about how to journal your vocal practice. I would be happy to give you some tips. If you don't write things down anywhere, it will remain a little bit abstract, and we can't always trust our memory. It can be quite surprising and empowering to read your journal 3 months or a year later to see how far you've actually come. Schedule your practice sessions in advance, especially if you don't have a formed habit of practicing every single day. Be realistic about your practice goals and perhaps start by practicing 3 sessions a week and really commit to your goal. For anyone feeling a little bit nervous to do their vocal practice because someone might hear them, or perhaps you're feeling a little bit silly that you're even trying, this is a great step for you to clear out all that overthinking in the process. There are some things to take into consideration when scheduling your vocal practice. First of all, be very kind to yourself if you can't stick to your vocal practice schedule. You will get there when you are ready. Unkind self-talk rarely leads to motivation in your practice in the long run. Your vocal practice shouldn't be something that you stress about, but more like something that even if you find it hard to get started, you feel good and accomplished when you manage to get it done. Sing a song that you really enjoy and that is quite easy for you to sing at the end of your practice session. Think about the emotions behind the lyrics and what it means to you. This is the reason that you practice for, to truly enjoy singing and expressing yourself through music. This is a great tool when you don't have that support and feedback from a vocal coach. You can do that for yourself. Start by just documenting when you sing a song that you have been working on every now and then. You don't even have to listen to your recording. When you feel especially good about your singing and recording it, you can listen to your recording right away, but treat this practice with kindness. It can be inspiring to listen back to your old recordings several months or a year ago, to really hear how much you have improved. Note that it takes time to get used to hearing your voice from a recording. At first, it is likely that you don't like the sound of your voice and it sounds a little bit strange and different to you. As you do it more often, you will eventually get used to it, but it does require practicing self-acceptance and kindness towards self. Review your vocal practice regularly to see what is and what isn't working. Are you making any progress? Have you met your goals and need some new ones? Don't get me wrong, when you have chosen what you want to work on and you have the exercises, you need to also allow time for the magic to happen. However, if you've done the same exercises regularly for months and nothing happens, you haven't made any progress whatsoever, you need to figure out whether you are doing the correct exercises, or whether if you are doing the correct exercises, you are focusing on the right things in your voice. You may also have to simplify your exercises, or when things move forward and feel easier, you may have to take on some new challenges. Review your practice monthly or every 3 months to see where you're at. Also, this doesn't always have to be so technical. It can also just be about a little check-in on how you feel about your vocal practice and singing. Before a quick summary on what you have learned so far, a little reminder to subscribe to my channel Sing with Mimi and hit the like button if you found this video helpful. Also, you can support my channel and suggest some new content ideas using the super thanks, and also share in the comments below what is the most comfortable place for you to practice and sing in. So, just a quick summary on what you have learned on this video. It is important to practice short practice sessions as often as possible to learn new techniques into your muscle memory. Make sure you know what you need or want to focus on in your vocal practice. You can choose from independent learning through YouTube videos, taking courses, or private lessons that will help you to find your path to meeting your singing goals. Journaling your practice will help you to get out of your head and see your progress clearly. Schedule your practice sessions in a way that works for you and your life. Attaching your vocal practice to an existing habit can help, but remember to be kind to yourself if you miss your practice. Include joyful singing time and remind yourself why you love singing and expressing yourself through music. Record your practice to keep record and to analyze your voice objectively if you feel ready. Review your practice to see what works and what doesn't, and take action to change things where needed. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate for you being here and actively sharing your experience in the comments of my previous videos. Keep singing and sharing your journey. I will see you back here soon. Bye now. Bye bye bye.